Hello, Blessed Soul family. Welcome to day 2 of the 7 days to Samhain. The path to the ancestral healing, finding the healer within. I'm very excited to work with the grouse today. I had a feeling this was going to be our first thing we were going to work with, because a lot of times when we work with spirit animals, they'll end up being our reference point a lot, like during when we do these events. If you're new here, welcome. If you're coming back, welcome back. If you've done this before, my name is Tallulah Kelly, and I am a psychic medium, and I'm a lot of different things, really. I wear a lot of hats. That's why on the top, of my page, it says, of my channel, it says all the different things that I do. But when it comes to my work and my purpose, part of my purpose is to work with sacred spirit medicine, especially now while we are in the process of a massive transformation on the planet. So, yesterday, if you are just seeing, if this is, the first video you're seeing, you might want to go back and watch day 1. And it was just the introduction, just kind of telling you like what we're going to be working with, and yada, yada, yada. But I will say this, I thought it was really interesting that number 34 is the grouse. We're working with the medicine cards book. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this book. I live off grid, so I don't have the best lighting, and I don't have, this is my phone, so I don't have great software, but you get the drift, you can see it. But the grouse is number 34, and I thought it was really interesting. Can you guys see that? I don't know how to, like, I guess I can manipulate the lighting a little bit. You see that? Okay, so number 34. And so what is 3 and 4? 7. 7 days to Samhain. Very interesting. So when we did the introduction, Spirit spoke of one of the archangels that was going to be our guide during this event, and it is Metatron. So I don't know if you've worked with Metatron before, but Metatron's, actually, let me put this in the back a little bit. Metatron is a really powerful archangel. If you don't know much about Metatron, you might want to look him up and research him a little bit. The thing I love the most about Metatron is Metatron was human before. Not all angels or archangels have ever been human, or had a human experience, but Metatron has. And so some people think Metatron was Jesus, some people think Metatron is Enoch. Everybody has different views on who they believe that Metatron is. But for me, Metatron reminds me of Optimus Prime. If you're familiar with the Transformers, that's kind of the energy I get from him. He's just this very kind, gentle, but has a great sense of humor, very wise. He feels very witchy to me, but I think the witchy, when I feel witchy, it's really just healer. By the way, I forgot to check and see how many minutes I have. Oh, cool. We have 20 minutes. All right. So I'm going to dive right in. I'm sorry if you can't see me too well. I had it perfect. And see what happens when I mess with lighting. What's going on there? Fun. Okay. So anyway, so Metatron is going to be guiding us through this. Also, in real time, we're still in the waxing gibbous energy, which is the refine and focus energy before we hit the full moon in a few days, in the full moon in Taurus. So that will be a partial lunar eclipse, and we're going to talk more about that, because the cool thing is that we've got eclipse season on our 7 days countdown to Samhain. It's very exciting. So that's why I'm doing things in black and white, because, oh, sorry, that was my speaker just went off. Okay, so let's jump into the grouse, because we don't have a lot of time. Okay, so it says each one of these spirit animals in the book and the medicine cards, each one of them has their own energy. Let me see if I go down a little bit. Hold on. They each have like their own, like, either word or phrase that goes with them. Is that too dark? Maybe not. What do you guys think? Is it too dark? We'll see. Anyway. Oh, that's better. That's better. Okay. It's not just like flashing me or like washing me out. And so for the grouse, their words or phrase is sacred spiral. And they each have their own poem as well. And this one is Grouse of the Sacred Spiral, leading us on to reach the everlasting heights where we can live as one. And I think it's interesting, and all the times we've done these before, when I do, like, I've done 28-day challenge, 30-day challenge, 7-day challenge, whatever, but this isn't really a challenge. It's more just like a path back to self. And so I love that right now, as a whole on the planet, we are coming back to self as one, like recognizing that we're not separate. We're not meant to be segregated and separated from each other. There isn't one race or being or sex, whatever, none of that. There isn't one that's higher, lower, you know what I mean? Like, it's not about that. So it is about coming back to love. And the sacred spiral is coming back to self. So this says, grouse once flocked in abundance through North America, but now, even on the plains where these birds were so plentiful, there's an absence of them. Many Plains Indian tribes dance the grouse dance to honor these birds. The movement of the dance follows a spiral, which is the ancient symbol of birth and rebirth, the ribbed tunnel of eternal return. The sacred the sacred spiral is also one of the oldest known symbols of personal power. When you think of grouse medicine, visualize a whirlpool or even a tornado, for the sacred spiral will take you to the center, right? Like we said, the spiral is a metaphor for personal vision and enlightenment. Many initiates on vision quests paint spirals on their bodies and believe that the great mystery will favor them with visions of power and purpose because of this symbol. The whirling dervishes of certain Sufi orders are masters of the spiral dance and can transcend to higher states of awareness through the repetition of this sacred movement. It is said that dervishes can travel to the center of the spiral and return with any magical power they choose. In the dervish state, one enters the great silence and has direct communication with the Creator by spinning clockwise or counterclockwise the the dervish draws or repulses specific energies. The Sufi dancing is a system which connects one with the divine source through ritual treatment of motion. If you have grouse medicine in your cards today, undertake a meditation on the various qualities of movement within your world. Begin by visualizing the sun as one member of a huge group of stars swirling in the massive pinwheel shape of the Milky Way. Then draw yourself out of this pinwheel of light and into the spiraling of your own DNA's double helix, an arrangement similar to a rope ladder coiled like a corkscrew. Analyze the way you move through your world. Now, if you haven't already, you may want to get pen and paper and write down these questions, because whenever we have questions that come in, especially with a spirit animal, they're really trying to get us to dig deep, and that's what the eclipse energy is, and that's what Samhain is. I mean, Samhain, when you think of the sacred spiral, it's like, Samhain it's the Day of the Dead. It's when the veil is the thinnest between our world and the other worlds, right? So right now, this is a really great time for us, not just to look at ourselves and to look at our shadow and do our shadow work, but also, while we're doing that shadow work, integrate it with the ancestral energy. Talk to the ancestors, ask them, what is it that you're trying to show me? What do I need to break in my blood and bone line, in this ancestral line? Like, what shadow work do I need to confront or face or look at, so that our family no longer is plagued with this energy? Because it's interesting, we're watching the Twilight series, is free on YouTube. If you've never seen the Twilight movie series and you want to watch them all, this is the time. It's very rare that YouTube does this. I've never seen it. People have been talking about it. It's kind of like a phenomenon right now. I don't know why they chose to do this, but it's really cool. But my husband and I have been like binge watching it, and it's been really fun. We just like watched, well, I don't want to give it away if you've never seen the series, but we just watched, I think it was the third or fourth movie. But I'm just looking at it through whole new eyes, and like the imprinting with the werewolves. And I was thinking about that a lot, like when I was watching the movie, just about how much our DNA is imprinted with pain and suffering and trauma, just as much as we are imprinted with joy and happiness. And so right now, what spirit is, if you found yourself here, you're a light worker, you're here to help, raise, and even if you're not a light worker, then you're someone who's here to help guide the light workers or clear the way, and your job is just as vital and just as important. There are some people who are like, I feel like I'm drawn to this like supernatural stuff, but I don't feel like I'm a light worker, or I don't like have visions like you do, or I don't. And I'm like, well, you could just be like, someone who's here to like hold space for us, like we need that, kind of like in this particular story of Twilight, right? Like, it's like you've got, the werewolves and the vampires, and then you have the humans, and then there's like this human in between who's trying to link them together. She's like, you're not enemies. You were only mortal enemies because of what one person did. But like, we don't have to be mortal enemies. And even now with the wars that are going on the planet right now, Spirit's trying to show us that it's like, it's all about healing ourselves, because if we were all happy and our lives were good, we wouldn't seek out revenge, greed, you know what I mean? Like power and all those things. That comes from something that we've lacked, or that is lacking in our lives, something that, we're missing most likely from our childhood. I got to keep checking the time because I don't have, okay, cool. We got 10 minutes. Because I want to make sure I get to the rest of this. My husband and I had this amazing breakthrough this morning when we were having a hard time communicating. Spirit asked us to sit down together and meditate. And while we were doing that, like our ancestors, his ancestors came through, and I got to like see like him and his life, and like it was just really profound. So, right now they're doing everything in their power to try and get us to navigate us. They're trying to navigate us towards the healing, and trying to navigate us towards, the things we don't want to face. So hopefully by now you've gotten pen and paper. If not, pause this. And here are the questions that Spirit wants us to work with. And if you don't work, you can just watch these, and it's like you can work with this medicine when you want to. You can watch this and work with the questions later. Like, it's no pressure. There's no pressure on this, okay? I'm just doing this 7 days of Samhain because I needed it for me too. Because as you know, I've been talking about this, but I have so much going on in my personal life that I felt like I needed that reconnection with Spirit as well. Because this time of year is so sacred to me, and so many of us, oops, that are working with Spirit. Sorry about that. There goes my fancy software. There goes my fancy equipment, I mean. Anyways, so let's get to the grouse. I mean, they're not playing. Like, they're clearly here right now. Even just doing that little shit. There's no reason why that happened. Okay, so here's the questions. So analyze the way you move through the world. Ask yourself, how do you picture yourself in the act of locomotion, right? Like locomotion, like when a train is like moving down the track, right? It's a locomotive. It's like it's moving forward. So they're saying, they have it in parentheses, how do you picture yourself in the act of locomotion? What kind of reaction do you create with the energy that you send into the universe, right? Are you sending good things, rippling good things into the universe? Are you rippling not so good things into the universe? Are you recognizing it? Because if you're recognizing it, one way or the other, that means that you're coherent and the decisions that you're making, and Spirit's saying good on you, like that you're recognizing it. So don't be hard on yourself. Be gentle through this healing process, okay? What words would you use to describe the way you move through the material and spiritual worlds? And the final analysis, is your movement compatible with your greatest desires and goals? Many spiritual disciples ask that you cease all external movement in order to recognize the inner life. Grouse medicine, however, is an invitation to the dance. Grouse celebrates the divine source through its sacred spiral dance and offers this dance to you as a gift. You can spend a lifetime learning Grouse's lessons on how to harmonize your dance with Mother Earth's cycles and how to offer the dance as a creation of selfless beauty. Yeah, for those of us who are in the Northern Hemisphere, my hair is getting a little bit of an oil bath. Sorry there. uh, in the Northern Hemisphere, right? Like we're in fall, like we're in it, like we're in this transformational phase. So there's two things that are so magical about fall. One, we reap the harvest and the rewards of all the hard work that we've done. That's what's so great. I mean, the holidays like Christmas and Yule doesn't begin until December 21st, right? When winter solstice, begins. And so that's when we really celebrate, right? Like, because we're done. There's no more work to be done. Winter, we're not going to be able to plant the seeds until spring, so that's that great part about it. But the other part is the falling away of those things that no longer serve us, those things, those people, those situations that we are so grateful for, but we're ready to move on to the next chapter. And I feel like at the end of this eclipse season, we're all going to be moving on to a brand new chapter. I'm really excited to see what happens. So, that's really exciting. So we'll go into these questions more over the next several days together. I'm really excited. But it's also for you, to look at that. I'm going to go through that myself and answer them through my own way as well. But Um, I want to see if I have time. Where are we at? Okay, we've got about 5 minutes. If for any reason this cuts off, because I can't see like where it is, it's like reflecting. Just know that I love you. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll see you tomorrow. And make sure to be good to yourself and each other. So I feel like I want to jump into the contrary because I feel like all of these medicine spirit animals have an upright and a contrary. Kind of like the one side of the situation and the other side. And I feel like for some of us we want to look at the other side and see what else the grouse medicine has for us. And it says drawing the grouse medicine card in the reverse position signals a dissipation of energy and lack of control and discipline. It is symbolic of a lost connection to the source and signifies a lack of clear intent behind an outpouring of energy. You may feel like you're in a tailspin or going down the drain. Confront confusion either in yourself or in others who may be in the picture. Examine the way your energy may be causing friction, sparks, or a convolution of a situation that needs clarification. Work toward harnessing your energy and directing it toward clearly defined goals, such as the natures of the sacred grouse dance. And using this sacred dance as a tool to right contrary grouse, you may also find that it's a tool to center or ground yourself. In grounding, you are once again connecting to Mother Earth and balancing out the spinning in your head. If you have become so involved with an idea or problem that you are no longer seeing it clearly, you may feel dizzy or lacking in concentration. This is a sign that you have entered the thought universe and are not connected to physical reality. You need grounding if this occurs. Yes, I've been getting this from Spirit lately. You know that old adage, if you don't know what to do, do nothing. I mean it. If you don't know what to do, do nothing. I saw this little thing the other day. Maybe I'll post it here, but it was it had this witch and it said something like the answer is no. So I was just like, And now remember, sometimes no doesn't mean like a hard no. It just means like no, not right now. Like you're not ready for that. You're not. Like where I'm at now, I wanted several years ago and I thought I was ready, but I wasn't ready. And Spirit has been showing me lately like certain things and bringing me back to other things. Sometimes the eclipse energy can feel very similar to Mercury retrograde, right? Where we're revisiting things again. The only difference is that we're going deeper into our shadow, into the darkness of ourselves, so that we can learn and so that we can look at something and it's not a trigger anymore. Instead, we look at it as gratitude and a lesson and not something that's still making us upset. So it says dancing or walking will put you back in touch with earth and your body. Grouse may then teach you how to notice the energy flows that put you in harmony and balance with body, mind, and spirit. Okay, where are we at? Okay, we got a few more minutes. So I really love this because I just, right before I started setting this up, I saw this angel video. I love this one angel. She just came into my orbit recently, and if I'm called to, I will post a link in the comments below. Always check in the comments or the description box or both. Sometimes I put it in both. But she was talking about that, about getting really grounded. And I feel the same. I'm getting this message from Spirit. So go outside, walk outside barefoot, somewhere safely, of course, closer to your home, the better, because, you're also dealing with other energies. But if you can't, like, go to a park or go to the beach. It's just about getting grounded. We are in Scorpio season, so water energy might be really helpful as well. And we're dealing with a lot of energy with Pluto, which is Scorpio's ruler. And I want you to just research that more, because this angel was talking about that and how Pluto, rules the underworld, and so do the spirit animals. So I think it's interesting that we're working with spirit animal medicine during all of this. And the grouse is telling us to get grounded. And then this lady right before this was like, we need to get grounded. I've been getting all these signs about getting grounded. So, also, what a great thing to do is to find a big rock or even get a thing of soil, organic soil, as healthy as possible, no toxic, and put it in like a bin and put your feet in it in your house. It's just about getting closer to earth, not just having, and also this I just don't want to go over. It's really important that you're wearing natural fibers. Look at all of your clothes, and if you can afford to do so, even if you just go to secondhand stores or whatever, but wear as many natural fibers as possible, because when you start wearing, we're going to talk about a lot of things over the next week, but yes, about taking care of our inside, our outside of our bodies, of our avatars, and just how important it is for us to be connected to the earth. It's like we come up from the earth and we go back into the earth. You know, whether you're buried, you're burned, we're going somewhere into you know what I mean? We're going to land somewhere here. Anyway, so yeah, so that's our medicine for today. I'm very excited to work more with that. Also, since we are in a 7-day um, cycle or whatever, I'm going to try and put something here so I can see it. Now that we're on this 7-day, here we go, uh, adventure together, I think it's also would behoove all of us to work with the number 7 in numerology. You can work with the angel number too, but you know, a lot of times in the tarot, sevens can, like, I think it's the 7 of Wands is about like hardship, you know, like, you know, really working hard. And I feel like that's what we're going to be doing. But at the end of this, after we work really, really hard, I feel like we're all going to gain something really special from this. So stay tuned. Thank you for being a part of this journey with me on this 7 days to Samhain. And until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. And I look forward to seeing you tomorrow. Blessed be. Oh.